no, you still have to live in society. It is not a right to be a professional athlete. It is a privilege, just like everything else, right? It's one you got to work for. And why would you, how do you not know as a human being of any age, particularly in the West, that is what sports is? People don't give a fuck about people don't mimic Tiger Woods' golf swing, really. They wear the red shirt and they imitate the fist pump. You know what I mean? They didn't fucking try to start a business like Michael Jordan. They fucking wore his jersey and put their tongue out of their mouth when they're shooting a jump shot or when they're doing layups. You know, it's about the brand. It's about the personality. That's what sells this shit. That's why you're able to live this comfortable life. Just do it. Nike got it right.
Yeah. It is, and I just don't understand why you got into something. Because I always had the same feeling about actors, right? Where it's like Sean Penn or fucking Joaquin Phoenix, who was just like, oh, I don't want to do press. I don't want to do interviews for these movies or whatever. It was like, all right, well, cool, man. Nobody's forcing you to be a movie star. That's what it is. Like, and same with tennis. Like, you know that's part of the job. That is half the fucking job, is doing press, usually before and afterwards, for any single sport. Same with movie stars. And I said the same thing about movie stars. If you don't want to do press, go do fucking dinner theater in Bob's hometown in fucking St. Louis or whatever. Like, nobody's going to be mad at you if you're, the spaghetti warehouse solving a murder mystery. Meanwhile, somebody's got, chicken parm on table 6. No one cares. So, like, acting is acting. If you don't want to do press, go do that. If you don't want to play professional sports, nobody's forcing you. Go be a fucking teacher.
Yeah.
Go teach at a country club. I mean, shit. I don't get it. And then to make such a huge deal out of this, Jesse had touched on it this morning on Ross Patterson Revolution, where she was like, there's people with like real PTSD out in the world who have like mental and health issues. We're not going to put this girl on the same fucking playing field as them, where you just don't want to do press because you're anxious about it. Like, no.
One thing
people are just calling her a fucking hero today, all day long.
One thing I'll say about Naomi Osaka that probably a lot of people don't realize, and I think I agree with you that it's stupid that she, like, broadly stupid that she could act, that she would say, like, well, I'm just not going to do press for this while all of my opponents still have to do it. I don't think she is way more famous than she ever intended to be. She's not that big in America. Like, people know who she is in America. In Japan, she's a god, and in Europe, she couldn't walk down the street.
And that's been the case for a while, right? She started pretty, was she like 13 or some shit when she first started on the...
But she got huge in like 16 or 17. Yeah. 2016, 2017. Like, she is hyper fit. Like, in Japan, she's like Justin Bieber famous. And in Europe, she's still like, could not sit at a cafe and eat.
Right.
Yeah. But that's the gig. And you know that going in. There is no part of you that plays anything professionally in this world, in any field, where there isn't an opportunity for you to get massively famous. That's part of it. If you don't want that, don't do it. So, I mean, the next thing for me that I'm curious is to see if she actually sits out for a long period of time or just doesn't ever play again. To me, that would be being serious about mental health issues and taking care of yourself. If she does fucking Oprah and then comes back in a few months to play the U.S. Open, what the fuck? So I'm not really sure. It seems very, very odd. She had these weird, like, cryptic tweets, very Britney Spears, fucking pre-head shave. And, that's the gig. Getting into it, what you're doing, whatever your intentions are, even if you don't intend to be that famous, there's still a possibility of it. It's like buying a lottery ticket. Chances are you're not going to win, but there is a chance you're going to be massively rich and then fucking deal with that shit.
Well, the other part of that is that if the people who benefit most from society or from any institution, whatever it happens to be, have the most responsibility to give back, right? So if you're a billionaire in the United States and you and the government is having to come feed hungry people, I think you're fucked. I think you're failing at your fucking job. If you got that much shit and you've benefited from the society that we live in, you should not be funding politicians. You should be giving money to people who need it, food to people who need it, etc. If you become incredibly famous and wealthy because of this fan base, and you owe it to that fan base to talk to them. That's how it is. Like, I'm not a huge fan of being in social situations at all, right? But we do events fucking 3 times a month, typically. You know what I mean? Because people care, which means it's my responsibility to care in return for that shit. And, but beyond that, look, I don't know what it's like to be that famous. I have no idea what it's like to have your every move watched all the time. So I do have some sympathy for that shit, because I'm not a big fan of attention either, to be honest. I mean, despite this shit, I do this shit to challenge myself. And maybe that's what she's going to do. Maybe she does take some time off and come back relatively soon or late or whatever the fuck. And if she's challenging herself, I don't want to doubt the fact that she's being serious about this. But I also don't see what's heroic about it exactly. I mean, it is what it is. There's nothing to be ashamed of. If it's a legit thing and she's having to fucking deal with it in that way, there's nothing to be ashamed of. But it also doesn't make you a hero just to get up and fucking go to work every day.